I never noticed the unzipped one, and I don't like the smile is.
I will. All right, here's my promise. There will be more pocketies in there as the weeks go on. Let's play in that
Hidden
route.
pocketies.
You could get all of them in
Spot the pockety.
The idea, yep.
So we are going to get on with the business of giving back, and obviously, as I said before, one of the major partners for the season of Giving Back Pocket is Intel, and Intel have partnered up with us to give away a massive PC. It is the Intel Back Pocket PC giveaway, and we are thrilled to be able to do this. So, as I said, over the next 4 weeks, we'll have 4 segments involving this, where we'll be starting to share the PC. Today, we're showing you the parts that we've put in it and what you're going to get. Next week, we'll customize the PC with your help, theming it back pocket style. The week after that, we're going to build it, and I don't know who's going to do that because Pete, well, I would have assumed Pete.
But I got to man the camera. There's going to be another camera. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get a like
close-ups.
I'm gonna have to get like
People
a nice.
don't want to get the computer that I put together. I have
It adds
failed
character.
miserably at
It
times.
adds character. I built your last PC with you. You know.
Yeah, and I broke it.
Yeah.
We'll get onto that.
Good. And you built my PC with me on Good Game. The first gaming PC I ever got. We built it in the office, remember? It all
Yeah,
got
nice.
delivered there.
Yeah, totally.
And there was a terrifying moment where you were like, well, this doesn't fit in there. And I was like, what's that? And you were like, the cooling system.
When I got all my new parts of the PC that you built the first one in the old office, where I was like, Pity, you gonna stick around after work? Because I don't really know what I'm doing here. You built the whole thing for me. Beautiful build, by the way. And then I upgraded all the parts in the same case. And that was the one where I think I came to your house in Blue Mountains. Pete, you got to help me with this. And you're like, this won't fit in there. And it was a coolant system that was just fucking huge. And I was like, well, make it work, Pete. I want it now.
I think we ended up being like I can't remember what the sizes are, but it was the 3 fan bay, and it really only had your case really only had like room for a 2 fan exhaust or something.
I didn't want a bigger case. I liked my case.
Saw a fan off it or something.
We did something strange.
It's been a long time since I've built a PC, but I remember always putting it together and then it not booting, but it would give you a series of beeps, and then you had to look up it was like a Morse
number.
code,
Totally.
like what the series of beeps. It's just like
Yep.
your RAM or graphics card is unseated, or maybe you haven't connected this thing.
It's always RAM or a CPU fan that's not plugged in.
Yeah.
And so
It's always RAM. The RAM is always, you just haven't clicked it in right.
And then
RAM is finicky.
mine now, the PC that I do all my work on, that all the important things happen on, that I should never have a dangerous PC that should not boot up. Every time I turn it on, it goes
Oh, no.
and then turns on. Sometimes it's 2 times, sometimes it's 4 times, sometimes it happens first time. It's been like that for
Interesting.
2 years, and I'm too scared to open it and look into it. But it works a treat.
Maybe you'll
Sounds
end up.
bad.
Maybe you'll end
Yeah.
up winning
That sounds
this
really bad. Maybe-
fancy PC we're
maybe
getting.
Yeah, if you play your cards right, you might win yourself.
Maybe you don't
There's your
have enough
slush fund.
power or something.
Look, sure, I'm too scared to do anything now because it's.
You'll
working.
learn when we build this thing in a couple of weeks' time.
Okay.
You'll learn what a good computer looks like and how to do it. And also, if you want something easy, plug and play. Hey, the NUC, baby, the NUC will get you there. The NUC is all that business. It's literally just click bits in.
Nick, show
Click
it.
Bits in.
Why can't we see it? I
Because
can't
it's so
see it.
tiny. Look at that. You just click bits in. I haven't even clicked that in. That'd take 10 seconds to click in. I put on the side, click in the top, and the top has a fancy little. Look at this fancy little fan.
That has
built in.
less
It's very
margin
cool.
for
It's
error
like-
for me to
Look at
fuck up.
Totally. It's very like idiot friendly. They're just being modular. Like it's
you.
really nice.
Okay, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the big one that we're giving away. So let's just run through. Pete was, because you're our resident PC expert,
Expert is a massive stretch.
you're the least PC idiot.
Maybe. I found.
I feel like he has a
So these are
brain that likes to understand how things work
Very logical.
and is good at troubleshooting as a
Yeah.
result.
No
Even though
imagination,
Even
but-
though he hates it, he loves it, but he hates it.
This was an interesting build
So this
because
is a
I wanted to
shopping cart
spend
list,
to
is it?
exactly the dollar.
Yes.
So it wasn't like this part and this part, are an obvious pairing. It was like, this is an obvious pairing because I can get a cheaper bundle
Yeah.
and we can get the most bang for the buck.
Yeah.
So it's like,
This is-
it is a fucking weapon. We're
Yeah.
spending $4,000 on a PC, so it's going to be a beast. But
We haven't bought these parts yet. This is
No,
the
no,
shopping
no.
list that we're hoping to buy.
exactly.
Yeah, because we're going to be buying them on Black Friday with the Black Friday sales, and so that's how we're going to find some extra value. We hope.
Yeah.
Okay.
And but we do have all the bits set aside that we're ready to go for, and then we've got.
We have a shopping cart. We're going to get emails for days going, you've still got things in your shopping cart.
Totally. I'm on back.
Yeah, if you here's a 20% discount if you come buy this thing. Okay, let's run through what we got. Can we start off with the case? Because I feel like the case is you need a case. You can't just put all these bits together if you don't have a case. You need
Sure.
a case for your PC. And the case that we have picked out is the NZXT Elite Mid Tower. And we're picking this one up from Centacom. So I have the NZXT cases. I love these ones because I'm all about seeing the guts of the PC.
I mean, that's the thing with cases these days, isn't it? It's like it's a window into the works of your PC.
I feel like you spend so much money on it, you want to see everything.
Yeah.
I also like, because I got
The one that I have at home is like a friggin' disco.
It's in my one here. It's a
RGB.
rainbow. I've got a Pride machine here. It's wonderful.
I love it.
RGB is fun when used in moderation.
Or in excess.
Let me go to a picture-in-picture here so we can talk about it while we're looking at it. I obviously got to put some of my personal taste into the build because I'm picking the parts. But NZXT, Fractal Design, where I go, and Lian Lee a bit as well, where they're like very simple, elegant designs, often a lot of glass, but very boxy.
Which makes sense.
Not like frills. I like a box.
Or too many inner bevels.
Yeah.
Too many
Yeah,
of
yeah,
those.
yeah.
You can't get your pieces in. And I stand by my old case that I like, but I can see the redundancy of it. The
And
fact
here,
that it isn't
like,
square.
My computer doesn't have any RGB built into the case. It's an NZXT as well, and it is a 510. It's not the elite RGB, but it is a 510. Plenty of room in there, but still not a huge tower.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's a good mid tower. You'll
It's a
fit,
PlayStation
You'll fit
5
the
and a
full
half.
ATX board in there, and then you could fit a PlayStation in there if it was empty.
And if the PlayStation was 50% smaller. I have this case. I have this case in white, and it looks fantastic. My RGBs are all set to white. I've got white cable covers on everything.
Yeah, nice.
My 3080 is white metal. Everything there is white. It actually looks. It's more.
That's because you're in that IKEA room that you have your computer
You need to match. Up next, the power. Power, not necessarily the sexiest part of the computer, but
particularly.
arguably incredibly important.
Especially if you don't have enough power, like in my machine at home.
Like yours, which is doing that clicking thing.
Oh, yeah. You know it's working.
We picked a RM750X from Corsair because the graphics card, obviously you can get away with lower ones, but the graphics cards, the 30 series, are hungry boys.
Well, hungry boys, but also quite efficient boys. We're talking about the difference between 750 has been kind of a standard for like a few generations of systems now, because back in 2011. When there were the 590s were the best card on the market. It was they were an 850. They were chugging down
Really?
hard.
So wait, they were using
more. So there's often cycles of power and then efficiency, power and efficiency, and efficiency, and the systems are still quite efficient. They've done pretty good leaps over the last few years of efficiency, and 750 is heaps for a system that's not got multiple video cards in it, and not a render machine for Lucasfilm.
I'm seeing lots of people in the chat saying great choice with the power unit. They have their power unit, and then Gazra says my power unit from 2008 is a 1500 watt.
Yeah, there you go.
Smokes.
It's honestly actually coming down the requirements, even though the cards are getting more powerful.
You'll catch up.
You don't
need to do anything.
Oh, awesome.
He's got a new card.
You need to upgrade everything else, but the power unit can stay.
I've used Corsair PSU. This is the PSU that's in my machine right now. Seems to be doing the job.
And Peter, how many?
It doesn't have any
RGB lights
frills.
does it have
It
on
doesn't have any frills. It's just there to supply power to everything.
Totally.
And it does a good job of that.
It only
That's all
needs
we
to
want.
focus on
Gets
that.
you from A to B as well.
And again, it's we're not going to be blowing the budget on buying the fancy PSU when we can spend that money elsewhere.
Blow the budget on the graphics card.
Yeah.
That one's coming from Umart, is where we're picking up the power unit. The motherboard is next. Motherboard's things that I have no idea about until I get them, and then I'm like, does this have Wi-Fi in it, or do I need a Wi-Fi thing extended?
Which you work out by turning the machine on and being like,
Totally.
apparently I'm not getting any Wi-Fi. I wonder why that is.
We're getting this one from Centacom, and it's the Gigabyte Z490 Aurorus Elite. Are we going to say Aurorus?
Aurorus?
I've been saying it for so long, but not out loud. Aorus. I've been saying that.
Like aorta.
Aorta, yeah.
Yeah.
The Aorta Elite. It's got the space for everything we need. It's got a couple of NVMe slots, and it's like that's a mid-range Mobo. Again, you can go harder, and it's got more casing on it and better cooling systems in it and stuff. But there's a good amount of ports in it for like a gamer to plug in all their peripherals and stuff.
I have this motherboard.
You do?
I, at one point, had 2 of these motherboards.
What?
So...
add 2 to cart without realizing it again.
I do that a lot. I thought there was an issue with mine because I put the processor on incorrectly. Not incorrectly, it wasn't.
The one you got shipped had a bent pin. Or you bent it.
No. I just worked out later on I was doing something wrong.
Right, okay.
But I didn't want to admit that to Pete, so I thought I'd do it live on air. So I bought another motherboard. That one turned up. I got it working, realized the first one worked, and then sold this one back to a guy on Gumtree.
Hey,
Yeah, so nice. Swings and roundabouts. But but it was my fault entirely, like most of the stories I'll be talking about in terms of any hardware here. But I had this
Or
one.
just in general.
Yeah, exactly.
Chatter not happy about you bending the pin.
I didn't bend the pin. It was fine. I think I'd actually plugged a thing in the wrong port. That was it.
Yeah.
It was fine the whole time, Pete.
Believe you.
I'm sure,
That
I don't
sounds like
believe you.
a
I don't know what
classic
happened, but I
Gus
believe you.
issue.
and I'm sure that all the pins in that thing you plugged in just survived that, and they're all
Yeah, totally.
And I just checked; it does have Wi-Fi. So well done,
Yeah, it's
Peter.
got Wi-Fi.
Good
Yeah,
work.
yeah.
Good work.
Most mid-range motherboards will have Wi-Fi built into them and room for everything.
I'm just saying, I've been caught out before.
You can get caught out. I'm not sure. I actually didn't check whether this one comes with the external aerial
bits. Yeah, we should double.
My favorite part about being caught out building a PC,
yeah?
installing your OS with a CD and going, I don't have a CD tray.
You don't need to see
Bootable USB key.
Yep.
All right, up next, the RAM. You need the RAM. So my favorite, I use this so often. Of someone I was like, what is RAM? What does RAM do? And someone described it. I can't remember who, but they basically said if your computer is a table, then RAM is how big your table is. So if you have a small table, you've got a bunch of documents stacked up, and it takes longer to sort through those documents to find the thing that you want.
Okay.
But if you've got more RAM, you've got a bigger
spread it
table,
out.
you can put all those documents next to each other, and then you can very quickly find the thing that you want. And I was like, that table analogy.
Great
That's
analogy.
great.
I actually thought about applying the table analogy to this whole thing. And on the drive in here, I was talking to myself, thinking about all the different parts of the computer, how they relate to being a table.
part of the table
And then I was like, I think I'm going to confuse the viewers and I'm going to anger Intel by comparing the computer to a table. So I didn't do that. Instead, we picked up the Corsair Vengeance RGB, very important for Steph.
Yeah.
Pro RAM. It's 16 gig worth of RAM, and that'll do you plenty. And we're getting this one from Umart, and it is DDR4 Peter Burns.
I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find DDR3 in the store.
Guess what I've got in my machine? No, I have DDR4.
In my old PC, I did have DDR3, and I was like, I need to upgrade my table. And then I bought DDR4, and then went to put it in, and it's like, this is a totally different connection. And I was like, no, I need to buy a new table. And so I did, just to upgrade
Bought
the
a new
RAM.
living room and everything else.
Well, so here's where the flavor comes. Your RGB flavor.
It's pretty. I
comes
want
in.
to put it up on the screen. I'd like.
So
look at.
Again, I'm not super pro RGB, but I find that on the ribs of RAM, it looks sick.
It does look
and
awesome.
you can control it however you want. There's the software to set it to a color and static or breathing or whatever. They always sell it as rainbow because it's RGB, but they're gonna be nice little glowy sticks in your machine. They look cool.
People love the RAM. They're saying that they've got this. People love the table analogy more. And they're like, that I finally understand what RAM is.
It's a great analogy.
Yeah, and it really, the whole reason you get it is so that you can have like 70 Chrome tabs over
So-
your computer's fine, which is why I got 32 gigs of RAM.
It's that'll handle Chrome and that's it.
Yeah.
My actual genuine question. So does the analogy work in the sense that more RAM is a bigger table?
Yes.
Faster RAM is a bigger table too.
Both.
Yeah,
It's-
okay, right.
It basically just RAM as a whole
power
controls
efficient.
table size.
Got it. Okay.
Surface area of table.
Thank you very
Well,
much.
because
Yes.
if you've got a glossy table, those documents slide
They
all
would slide
around.
all over the place.
Well, you would need ray tracing for that.
Ray traced RAM.
Up next is the cooling system, which we certainly hope fits in this, as opposed to
Fingers crossed.
me and Gus. For this one, we got the Asus ROG Strix liquid cooling for this one. It's got RGB just covered in it, and we're getting this one from PC Case Gear. I like the fact that it looks like a pair of eyes looking at a nose.
What's ARGB? Is that a new feature or a typo that I did?
Very good question.
Because I slapped these together and I was like, I feel like I copy pasted this stuff in.
Yeah, maybe it's
Alpha, red, green, and blue. It
Yeah.
has alpha.
It has alpha see-throughs.
It goes. You could see through
Addressable.
nothingness.
Mason says it's the A stands for addressable.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Let me go to picture again for this one. It's a 240 size. That should, in my mind, be. We'll do the radiator up the front of the case. We'll replace the fans that are in that case, and maybe hopefully they're the same size as the ones at the back. I should have probably put more time into that so that we can keep those RGB fans in the other two exhaust
interesting.
slots at the back,
Interesting, yeah.
and then keep the radiator up the front. But I have a similar cooling unit to this as well, and I do love the Asus Eye. It's just a nice thing to sit over your CPU.
Yeah.
How fun! That's my
Watching.
favorite part of the build was attaching that over the processor. Like it's
That
it's the Iron Man bit.
That's
You're
the
like,
terrifying part.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it's
Anytime they're like, apply the paste, I'm like, oh,
Thermal paste.
you're like,
I wasn't told the paste would be involved.
I remember my girlfriends and I were all watching that Henry Cavill video when he was building his PC,
Yeah.
and we were like chatting while we were watching it, and then my friend was like, "Did he not apply thermal paste?" And I was like, "Take it back, take it back."
Amazing. That's what you get. And Chad is saying that that's going to fit in fine, Peter.
Yeah.
There are no
Yeah.
concerns with
Yeah.
this.
It's just where we put it, like whether we put it on top or at the front.
They said it would fit both.
Peter,
Yeah,
Peter,
yeah.
I will sort that out when I'm doing it.
yeah. Gus will make that call on the day.
I'll have more wine.
Put
than
the
I have-
alcohol away. Up next, the boot disc. Very important, obviously, because this is how you boot. If I need to explain boot disc to you, then we're in some trouble. This is coming from Umart. It's Samsung 500 gig, which is a decent size for a boot disc. Peter, you didn't skimp on the boot disc.
I like
NVMe.
a big chunky C drive.
Yeah.
And mine's a terabyte,
It's
which
very
should be.
annoying when you run out of space in a C drive.
Mine is
but,
continually
Very.
going to the red, and I'm like, it's that little clean the cache.
Yeah.
make
It's
sure
just like your downloads folder fills up over time and you
Yeah,
don't clear it properly
it's
and
very
whatever.
annoying.
But yeah, it'll be
you mess
like
up one of those install directories, and you're like, what?
this
It's
is
filling
like
up
this
so
is
quick.
your operating system. This is some important programs.
Rock
and-
Wallaby says this is the seat at the table.
Yeah, this is the seat.
Oh, I like where this is going.
This is like a few important programs, and this is your most important games that are never going to get deleted.
Yep.
This is Dota 2, Destiny 2, Diablo 2.
Yep.
All the twos. Mass Effect 2.
No, it's got to be D2. You idiot.
Divinity Original
Divinity
Sin 2,
Original Sin 2.
Diablo 2.
We went for a Diablo 2, but let's go Diablo 2.
Descent 2.
Descent
Re-release.
2.
Thank you.
Dark Souls 2.
Thank you.
Uh,
Anyone else?
I wasn't paying attention. I'm not sure what we're doing.
Red Dead Redemption 2. No, Dead Redemption 2.
Dead Red
Just got to
Redemption.
kill the red.
Yeah, yeah,
Dark
yeah.
Dreams Don't Die Too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You'll have 10 games on there about.
Anyone else? Everyone is still just talking about the hard drive.
Dragon-
Danganronpa 2.
Danganronpa Donkey Kong 2. Yeah.
Division 2.
Yes.
Dragon's Dogma.
Vision 2.
Dishonored 2.
Dragon Star.
Is this really what we're doing with that?
Camel Rage says you filled the drive 6 games ago. Yeah, totally. This is your favorite games.
Yeah.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
They'll live on this. And it's like, you never have to worry. It's beautiful.
And then we're not leaving you with just 500 gig, obviously, because we have the SSD. This is where you put the trash games. This is where you store everything else. This is a Samsung 870 internal SSD. So solid state, which I feel like the prices that you get for solid state drives now, if you're putting anything with a spinning disk in it now, you're losing
We're getting
money.
reasonable prices now for solid states as well.
Totally. And
Just
this one's
reasonable.
coming from Centacom as well.
Totally. That's where everything else goes. The games that you cycle through, the things you'll play once, you'll
These
finish,
are the
you'll
drawers
enjoy.
in the desk.
These are the drawers.
SATA 3.
We've turned the table into a
Make
desk.
sure you have enough SATA 3 cables. I didn't. That was a...
You know what? You're not allowed to build this PC.
Thank
There are
God.
too many
Wow.
stories coming out of this of like, I didn't have this cable. This didn't fit. Pins.
But I feel like those are all valuable lessons that we've had to learn over the years.
That pin's
until
in
you
the way.
get sponsored by someone who delivers a PC for you.
Yeah.
Well, wait, it's totally.
And now I feel like I'm Marie Antoinette. I'm just like, I haven't built a PC in years.
Meanwhile, I'm like, that pin's in the way. I'll bend that out.
I wonder if it adds or removes value if you build it. Like, there are some people watching that would love you. Like, even if it didn't boot up, they'd just be like, he touched it, and that was worth
The
it.
big paperweight by Gus.
All right, this is the thing that is the least sexy. It's the OS. You know what it is. It's Linux. It is Windows 10. I don't know what I could say about Windows 10 other than we're buying it from UMart, and I think you're probably going to need to install it from a bootable USB drive because I don't think we have...
We should be able to boot it up and install it. If
We-
Gus is
we
gonna
can-
Oh, no,
change the
we'll
system
set it up.
sounds,
Yeah,
we'll have that all
it'll be-
running.
they
That was the
come on-
royal
they come on-
you.
totally.
Yeah.
They come on a thumb drive.
Yeah, we'll get in there. We'll disable Cortana. We'll do all the stuff that you usually have to do once it's all up and running.
So
you
I
don't
reckon
have to-
someone at Intel has access to like Windows 11. They must. They must have. I'm going to talk to them, and I'm going to see if we can get preview code of Windows 11 and install it on there.
exciting
The most
stuff.
Unstable software you can possibly imagine. Then you can get that. Then two last parts of the computer, probably. Well, arguably the two most important parts, but it's all pretty important because literally everything that we've said here, if you don't have it, the computer will not turn on. The first one being the GPU, and we're going to hook you up, like I said, with a 3080.
Look at that bad boy.
We do not know
Not
which
that one.
3080 it's going to be. It's not
Should
going to
be a big
the launch
disclaimer on
one.
that saying not Founders Edition.
It is going to be whichever one we can get our hands on, and the way that we've been doing it is literally me sitting there at the same Reddit thread where I bought mine last Friday, just refreshing, and we missed 4 today.
While we were
So-
live on the news.
We were literally on like, every time it was either the news or I was on I was in a meeting pitch a couple of hours later, and both times it was like 2 graphics cards went both times. But we are going to make sure that you get a 3080 in your PC, and whether it ships with the PC or it comes to you a bit later. If you already have a graphics card, then let us know and we'll just ship it to you without it, and you can put yours in. If you don't have a gaming PC and you win, then we will give you my personal old 980, which will run whatever you want, not at the greatest expectations, but let me tell you, when you play a game on that, and then the day arrives when the 3080 turns up,
You're not going to have any
you aren't gonna
squint moments.
feel no.
You're not going to be sitting up there like me going, no, it was kind of reflective before.
You are going to feel that difference in your loins. So it is exciting times for you, whoever wins this computer. And then finally, we need a processor. And of course, we have gone with the 10th generation of Intel processors. We got a Core i9. It's coming from PC Case Gear. It's top of the range.
Just about.
Just about.
Yeah.
I think we're one below.
Yeah, it'll be the 10850K, I think
Yeah.
is the
As
string.
opposed to the 10900, I think, is the top.
And you pick which Avenger it looks like.
Yeah, and then this is in the computer analogy. If we go, so we've got the table. So I figured that the processor is actually the person sitting at the table because
Not the lazy Susan supplying all the...
that's
you could
not
spin
bad.
that around the papers on that, and this helps get to those sheets quicker by spinning it.
Maybe.
But they're thermal pasted down so they don't fly off.
So they don't fly off.
Yeah.
The thing that, because I was like, what does a processor do compared to a graphics card? Because I only ever really care about graphics cards. Graphics cards are about how the game looks when you're playing.
How shiny is your table?
Exactly. And the processor is all about how the game, the intelligence of the game runs. So the game is, all the thinking that the game does, whether it's like destruction physics, AI, anytime it's like trying to retrieve information and like put together that game for you, that's what the processor is doing. So you can actually have games that are very, very low graphic quality, but require high processing power if they're doing a lot of thinking. A game like Kerbal Space Program.
What about the one we played the other week? That like particle simulator.
Or like a beef stroganoff if you're keeping to the table now.
Thank you very much.
Sure. That one I played Teardown. It was all like super
Yeah,
high.
totally, yeah.
Like heaps of like that had heaps of lighting effects, but also had like heaps of particle.
Yeah, anytime it's
going
like we put this here, and then because you turned up, it's now over here, and I need to remember where that is. That's your processor.
People are really taking this analogy and trying to run with it.
What if they
Blue
got-
Pie Ninja says the CPU is the knife and fork because you need to cut your food to eat it.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Very nice.
Outer Wilds, Nicrotech says, is quite processor heavy. It's doing full universe physics simulation. Totally. And it's every time you load up that game in your Death Rebirth thing, that whole universe has been simulated. All those parts are in place in the universe the entire time you're playing.
That's the one game as well that wasn't it when you jump, the whole world comes to meet you instead of the other way around.
Yeah, you don't move. The world moves around.
So that's the definition of the game reacting to how you your input. So
And the Nightbot in the chat is sharing the Intel Cross Backpocket PC giveaway, which is how you're going to win this thing.
Absolutely. No, this is...
This is how we're going to apply for... This is how you're going to build the competition that will allow you to win this thing.
Exactly. And so that is the computer that we are going to be giving away. We're super excited about this because we genuinely were like, we want to build a beast. I feel like Peter has built you a beast. And this is the kind of... this is very close to the computer that I got a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's just phenomenal. And so we are super excited to be able to be giving this away to
the speed of those custom cursors and icons will be supreme.
Oh my
goodness.
goodness.
So you've got that to look forward to as well.
And then let's just quickly go through we have so far...
All right, so these are the people who've entered with ideas for a contest that we will then run for someone to win this machine.
Absolutely.
Right.
So far we have over 100 suggestions for entry mechanics.
And the winner of this will get themselves a prize as well.
So the winner, so we're not going to pick the winner on stream now because we're going to need to actually pick the tires on some of these ideas and make sure it works really.
Yeah.
But when we do pick it, the winner is going to get themselves this Corsair headset supplied by Intel. You're going to get an Intel hoodie, an Avengers giant mouse pad, and we're going to buy you the game of your choice on the platform of your choice.
Which I feel everyone's going to say Demon Souls because it's $120. Everyone's just going to go, what is the most expensive game I could get?
Even if they don't have a PlayStation 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
they'll just be like, good value for money.
Yeah. I want to read out, but I do want to just quickly read out some people's suggestions here. Geordie Todd said, a great back pocket Christmas bake-off. Christmas pudding or gingerbread house or just a Christmas-shaped or decorated cake.
Nice.
Potential bake sale to fund another year or month, depending on quality, for subs. So people would send in pictures of something they have baked as a Christmas treat that is back pocket themed.
Wonderful.
Which I very much enjoy.
And not taking inspiration from the cookbook that we featured on the last post show.
Which genuinely, please don't even say the name of it because I really feel like that's not sponsor safe. But that book is coming and I cannot wait until it's here. We have Jazzles suggested a back pocket themed Christmas light decorating competition.
Oh, wow.
So you also get the added bonus of free drive-by advertising for all the people looking at the Christmas lights.
Yep.
Lovely.
So make
It's a labor-intensive competition.
That is.
It's a $4,000 computer.
Yeah, but could have some solid results.
With RGB that they can add to the light, they can just put it up next to the window and turn it on.
Absolutely. And then, and I do like this one. Rewrite a Christmas Carol. So this is from Princess Jingles. Keeping the tune.
Princess Jingles, what a name.
Come
You know
on,
what
you
you're
just sign up today.
Keeping the tune, but changing the words so it's all about your favorite video game. And then we make a short list and then they call in, they have to sing it on stream.
Oh, I love that.
How
I'll find the royalty version,
Love
instrumental
that.
version of that so they have something to sing along
That's
with.
great because it doesn't require anyone to buy anything in order to enter the
How old are all those tunes?
or have access to.
Oh, I'm sure
baking.
they're in the public domain.
Yeah, but the performance may not be. So
Yeah.
we should be able to find some.
I'll tell you what we can do. We make a
we'll
short
pay
list of
Barjo
like
to
6 of
perform
them.
them.
Yeah, totally. And then we just go like,
Can I call it carols in the public domain? It's pretty.
see?
it's
I
pretty
mean, we can't announce a winner yet, but my God, that one just rocketed to the top of the list. So thank you very much to Geordie Todd, Jazzles, and Princess Jingles for your suggestions. Obviously, these are not the ones that we're picking. We just liked those, but we liked them enough, so we've decided that we're going to give each of you a free game of your choice on the platform of your choice as well. So I will shoot you an email probably tomorrow, or if you're on the Discord, shoot me a DM, and we'll get you sorted with the game that you want. So thank
Demon
you very
Souls
much
for all.
Demon Souls for everybody.
Why? Because
It is. What is it?
It is the
Tis the season of giving back pocket.
There it is.
When you can't hear the music, there's an excruciatingly long time before the titles of the segment that you came up with the name of this morning comes up. So thank you very much, everyone.
Obviously, and just as a reminder for people to jump across to that the form that is there for the entries for that competition as well.
So the entries for that close at 11:59 tonight. So you could still have time to get in and get yourself that headset and those games. And then also thank you to Centacom, Umart, and PC Case Gear, who are the Intel retailers that we're buying all our PC parts from on Friday with the Black Friday sales, where we should hopefully get some good deals. So if you're looking for good PC deals, check out Centacom, Umart, or PC Case Gear. All right.